The first question is, what is the situation with the Draco race? What has been happening to them?
So they have been caught out. They have been removed mostly off planet. The bigger players there, the bigger beings there have been escorted out of the planet. The ones now who are scurrying and hiding around the world are the less powerful remnants of that race. They are still going to have some fight in them. They still want the resistance, but they are on the back foot. They're not as powerful as they once were by any stretch of the imagination. They do, however, have weapons, not necessarily guns, but other means to make an impact for their final stand. They will go down fighting.
Do they have any power over humanity?
They once were very powerful. They were leading humanity into the wrong agenda, which was the original intent for humanity to be. So they have had a lot of control, and they got away with a lot for very long. And so now, because of a lot of other things that have been happening behind the scenes, we want to say Galactic Federation's agreements and working hard to remove them from this planet and to neutralize the situation, shall we say, has given way to be able to release humanity from their impact. There are small numbers now, but the dangers are not worldwide, global issues now. They are very small scale.
So they are now free from their power.
The ones that are left still have some bites, shall we say, and this is being currently observed and worked with now. There are smaller fights to try and get them and to be able to contain them, and this is taking up some time, but what we are seeing is that they will detonate underground bunkers, predominantly in the lower Australian region, and that they have detonated other places where they have been keeping themselves what they felt was safe. So some have been destroyed by the beings who have just had enough. And this is the only way that they can remove these last hooks, shall we say. But the bigger situation in the lower regions of Australia are their last stronghold, shall we say.
So what is going on in Melbourne, Australia?
There is underground, an underground city, shall we say, where they have been living and keeping their livestock. And they have been living there for a long time. They thought that that was going to be a safe haven for them as the earth shifted, not realizing that their full destruction and the results of their bad, shall we say, behavior and actions have caused the planet to now change her mind, and instead of growing in this shell to a high dimension, she's leaving this shell and she's going to reincarnate into the new earth at a higher frequency, leaving behind this old shell.
Are people vulnerable to any evil?
There will be some unfortunate people who will have their lives taken, their free will taken because of the final detonations that the last remaining Draco will be taking. They will be setting off large detonators, which will cause a big impact on the locations underground, where they will just end their own lives because they will refuse to be captured and surrendered. And so when they realize that they have no other means, they will choose to end their lives and potentially reincarnate somewhere else.
How can people see they are protected and safe?
For many people, they need to feel being protected and safe. And while they look outside on a beautiful sunny day, they can tap into that calmness and that stillness. They can feel the calmness and stillness within themselves. However, you are visual people, primarily your senses are visual. And so therefore, when you tap in and turn on the TV to see the news, or you go into your social media platforms, you will see the images of destruction and the videos of destruction, and that will make you feel unsafe. Take off those machines, take off your devices, turn them away, look outside again, feel within yourself again, and remember that the destruction that is happening is an illusion in some degree. Yes, it is happening. It is going to be very real, the destruction, but you can keep yourself safe by removing the visuals of the destruction from your psyche, from your senses. You can just experience your own experiences in your own reality, what's happening to you in that present moment. Don't buy into other people's situations in fear. You're exactly where you are supposed to be to experience exactly what you're supposed to be experiencing. And this is part of your life contract. You chose to be in the locations you are now. It is no consequence that you are where you are right now. It is all purpose. There is lots of purpose for everything, and there is no coincidences here. The people who are using the exit points for these disasters, this is purposely in part of their life contracts plan when they were writing up what they were going to experience and where their exit points were. This is the case. Remember, while people appear to have died, they could simply have left their carbon bodies and moved into their crystalline bodies to go to the new earth, or to go to their homes, or to go beyond. Therefore, do not feel sorry for the people who have taken their next journey step. This is all everyone's path. And just focus on yourselves. It's not selfish. To still be okay having a glass of infused loved water and looking outside or being outside and feel the stillness within you and around you.
When there is destruction, is that not the impact from the evil beings?
Most is the expansion. Most is the expansion of, as she is getting ready for her evolution. She is shifting and leaving her own shell as well, while you humans are leaving your carbon-based bodies. She's also leaving her current-based body, shall we say. And so she's simply taking off this shell. It is, these are analogies we're using for you now. There will be, as examples that we've given you about Melbourne, where there is a case of 2 earthquakes appearing to have happened in the lower area of Australia, and this will be because of detonation. It is not as bad as they wanted it to be. I mean, we're very much aware of this, and we are watching this, and we are keeping this as small of an issue as possible, and we're helping many people at this time also.
What about the fires in California, and will there be any other natural disasters around the world?
Yes, there will be many natural disasters that will be occurring. This will be part of the earlier shifts that people have chosen. There's many roles for people to do at this time, and they have finished their life cycles, their life contracts here on Earth, and they are shifting earlier than the majority of people, as they have other roles that they now need to embody and to start achieving and doing. And so while there are natural disasters of these fires, they have the bigger purpose of cleansing. A lot of people who are there have bigger lessons to learn also. And so while it does look like a big tragedy for the environment and for the displacement of the animals and the humans, the humans and the animals and the plants are taking these as exit points for their consciousnesses, and they will be either evolving and starting their ascension to the new earth, or they will be reincarnating, or they'll be going home. So when you see death as you perceive it, remember this is the end of one chapter and the start of another. And this is all with their free will that they're using. And when you're on the other side of it, you'll be able to see it from the bigger picture.
So the plants and animals that are dying from the natural disasters around the world, are they going to the new earth?
Potentially some of them are, their consciousnesses will leave their bodies and their beings and their forms and structures here, and they will be moving with and starting their own journeys on the new earth for their own lessons and experiences. Some of them have enjoyed their experiences being the trees and the plants and the wild animals here, and this is also part of their contract. They knew that it was going to end this way, and they signed up for this, and they wanted that experience. As horrific as it may sound, you all want to experience dying in many different ways for the experience. While we understand, while you're in your human bodies and your 3D lives and with your potentially higher mindsets, this will be a hard pull for you to understand, but just like how you want to experience different experiences in your lives, you also want to experience different ways of passing. And so this is all part of your life contract. This is all being planned ahead of time, and you're just now having the physical experience of your wishes and plans for you. And this is the same for all conscious beings. And remember, everything has a consciousness. The little daisies in your garden to the big oak trees, they all are alive and have awareness. They're all energy. Most humans have just forgotten that you're around many alive beings. You just don't see them.
So what about the larger animals like elephants, giraffes, and horses? Do they get transported to the new Earth?
Yes.
And if so, how?
So when they get taken on board the ships as well, the ships are gigantic, they're humongous. They have areas specifically designed for the animals who do want to shift. Not all animals want to shift. Some of them will end their life cycles here and go and reincarnate somewhere else when they choose where they want to go. Some animals will want to go back to their home planets. There is a lot to be said here, and a lot of people with pets are desperate to find out whether their pets will be ascending with them, and yes, most of them will be. And there's a purpose again why you have these animals here as your comfort. And if you have the connection of them and it is already contracted between you two, you will experience the shift together and moving together onto the new Earth. Again, the consciousness of the animals and the high selves of the animals are all watching and protecting them too. So it is hard to explain how we transfer, for example, a gigantic whale onto a ship and then transfer him onto New Earth. But that is a very simplistic statement of what we will be doing.
For the people who go home instead of New Earth, can they visit the New Earth?
Potentially, depending on whom they are and what their specialties are, shall we say. So they can, if you have a somewhat of a physical body, you will not be able to really travel the distance from your home planet, for example, to the location of the new Earth. If you are a fully light body being, you could potentially manifest yourself into the new Earth to observe it and to be aware of it. So it goes into individuals. And it's physically only a small amount of percentage of beings will be able to travel to New Earth because it is still protected. And so not everyone can hop over for a cup of tea, shall we say.
Can we call in the god Dionysus for a message to humanity for this time?
Yes, and many people think that I'm a myth because I've come from mythology, from your existence of education, and I'm certainly not the case. I am someone who has been watching over humanity and still playing a role in helping humanity, and this time is very significant and important, and we all have been observing and watching. Remember, when you understand the truths about what you have been allowed to learn and what you have been allowed to believe as myth and what you have had hidden from you, this will all be revealed to you after the shift as your veils have been removed. And we are still here and we are still helping, and we never have left humanity to fend for itself. We are still very passionate and diligent with our roles and duties for humanity.
Thank you. Can we call in Artemis for a message to humanity, please?
Thank you for letting me come here and have a conversation with you today. Just as Dionysus said, and we are all here to help humanity, and we're doing it all with our own strengths and our own wisdoms and our own approaches to things. And while we are still connected like a family, and we still have our own family dynamics, and we all have big roles to play individually, but as a team, we're always stronger. And we are so happy to see humanity do this big shift now. So she can get back on track, the Earth can get back on track, and humanity can grow and evolve how it was supposed to. And while the lessons that you've all experienced have been tremendous, and you have been so driven into something that's such a shame and so toxic, but also so beautiful how you can still connect with each other when you do connect, and you still have, for the majority of people, still have a beautiful connection with each other. And we have been watching and been very impressed with the connections and how you all respond to the pressure. So when you have the veil removed and you can recall back your actions and your experiences, you'll understand what we have been watching and observing. And we are sorry that things have got so out of hand, but overall, even the hard, bad times and experiences have all been great learning. And we understand that those bad experiences come with the hard, sadder emotions. And so when you can process and see the bigger picture and purpose of these things, that will remove of some degree the pain and the heartaches. But when you'll see and understand this, it will be from the higher dimension, and so you'll have the advantage of seeing the bigger picture and just being able to emotionally adjust and reset your belief systems on a whole lot of matters. So I just wanted to say thank you, and we're so excited, and we are always here, and we always invite people who want to connect with us to call on us, and that is simply by going within, and you will feel out different energy signatures and see who you resonate with the most. And I say much love to you.
Much love to you. Thank you very much. Can I talk to Joanne's higher self?
Yes.
May I ask some questions, please?
Of course.
Okay, so what will happen to people like Bill Gates, Hillary and Bill Clinton, etc.?
They are clones. So the clones aren't aware that they are clones. So they don't have the soul connections as such. They are programmed to live their lives as they are, believing who they are. But when the shift happens, they will not be ascending.
Thank you.